So I've been training for a long time with my Coach Stelter. He has a bunch of guys around Division One football and in the NFL, and he does a bunch of drill work. You'll see me with weird stuff like soccer balls, tennis balls, softballs, all this different stuff to work on your stuff. And it's really just how can you train the technique without being repetitive, like snapping too many footballs. So I try to stay away from that as much as I can. You want to do that a lot, but that's how I'm trying to get better. Yeah.
When you came here, I remember Coach Petrilli saying your film stood out. How does the long snapper stand out on film?
Yeah, so specifically, Coach Petrilli showed me my sophomore year at William Mary, my Elon game, where one of my punters, like we were up, I want to say like 6 with like 5 minutes to go, and we had a punt, and my punter put it within the 5-yard line, and the clip that he said stood out to him was, you could see I ran down the field, and immediately I turned around and I sprinted straight to him and started hyping him up. And he was like, yeah, you snapped well, but like I was looking for more character, and he could see that from my film that I'm a team-oriented guy, and I just love seeing the success of my teammates because the long snapping position is not really one that gets that success.
What have your impressions been of Coach Shebas?
Yeah, Coach Shebas is super impressive. His schemes are really, really good, and you can tell he's been doing it for a long time, and he's a great guy to be around. I mean, he's always challenging you to be better constantly every single day. I mean, that's the goal that we all have right now in spring ball. I mean, there's no game really to look forward to, so it's just how can we improve every single day. You have one bad rep, how can you respond, and just working on the little things, and he really emphasizes that, and I think he's challenging all of us to be better players.
For you, long snapper, if you're doing your job, nobody knows who you are. If you have a bad snap, everybody looks at the flip card to see who's number 44. I mean, how's that make you feel?
You try not to think about it, honestly. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, like I'm going to do my job, and hopefully nobody notices. I mean, it'd be cool if you run down and get a tackle here and there. But, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things you have to train super hard for. And you get your mistakes out in practice and you throw a bad ball here and there, but you just got to know what to do, how to just set yourself up when you get on the game field, because, like, who really cares about practice when you step on the field and it's just time to go. So it's just trust your training and fall to that level.
So, like, who's the Wayne Gretzky of long snappers that all these long snappers look up to?
I like to think right now it's probably Luke Rhodes with the Colts. He actually played linebacker in my old school and then transitioned into a long snapper to stick around the NFL. But he's this big buff dude and super freak athlete, and he's just the highest paid long snapper in the NFL now. And he's kind of revolutionized the position to where it's more like a extra linebacker on the field versus just like another guy who can just snap a ball. So that's what I try to be like.
I mean, that's your goal. You want to get to the league, right?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a far ways away, but it's kind of I felt like I was a freshman like yesterday, but now I'm a senior, and that's been my goal my whole life, really. And getting to this level has been a goal, and just, hopefully stay unnoticed and keep making plays down the field. I like to make myself stick out because I'm sort of a shorter guy, so if I can make plays downfield in coverage, show that I can block a little bit and be an athlete, that separates me a little bit.
And you hopped in the portal and came back. Why?
Honestly, because I really liked the belief that Coach Odom had. I was in the portal and came in for an exit meeting and talked with him, and just the idea of being a Purdue guy and not flipping to a third school in 3 years, like that just didn't really sit right with me. And I'm a super committed person. I like to be where I'm at. And the way Coach Odom talked to me in my exit meeting, I just believed in what was going on. And I really like the culture that we've built so far. And Coach Shebas is a great coach, and everything's been going great so far. So I feel like I've made the right decision.
Coach Odom seems to put a big emphasis on special teams. Did that help sell you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's always great when coaches, care about you, and it comes with benefits and negatives as well. Like if you mess up, like you're gonna hear it, and that's it's a good thing. You don't want to go every day and it's like, all right, we're gonna have 2 specialty periods. Who cares what happens? Like it just check the box. Like here, you could tell it's really every single day we're doing special teams. I mean, we probably have 8 periods a day where we're working on special teams, and it just means a lot. I mean, we put a lot of time into our crafts, and it's good to know that the coaches care enough to put a lot of time into the whole special teams unit as a whole too.
When it comes to snappers and holders, how key is that connection, and how much do you guys have to work on that?
Oh yeah, I can't emphasize that enough. So like at my old school, me and my holder got super close. So when I first came here, it was a challenge to honestly looking between your legs and seeing a different stance or seeing a different cadence, just how the voice sounds. Everything really matters. So when your holder changes, it changes a lot about like what you're doing. And we started doing a new cadence this year. And it took me and Bennett some time to get on the same page with that, but now we're flowing pretty well, and yeah, it means a ton.
Is there a difference when you're snapping to a more traditional punter and not an Australian football player who's transitioned into punting?
Yeah, I would say mainly because they like to do a lot of rollouts, Australians. So you can sort of just, I would say it's more challenging to throw to an American punter just because they're not really rolling out. They're sort of staying in the pocket. So you really got to keep them on line. With an Australian, you can sort of guide him, keep it on his body. You could throw it high, low. Like they'll make you right just because they have a lot more room for error. With our scheme, we're pretty traditional. So American punters have to stay within the pocket, and that's what we're trying to do. So it's a little more challenging.